Mahala Monday, and we are back. We haven't left. We haven't left. We are. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Mahala Monday. My name is Dougal. I haven't changed my name. Have you changed your name?
No, we haven't changed our
It's
name.
Rhoda.
It's still Rhoda. Welcome back to our second show of the morning.
Yeah, certainly it is, and it is good to have you along. And right off the bat, we want to tell you this is one you got to be part of. So, at Nickay Productions, of course, the details at the bottom of your screen. You can definitely send your comments or questions through to it. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Now, let's get straight into it. It is the month of October, and you will recall a couple of days ago, previous episode, and before that, and it really has become an amazing good friend of the show, Jason Falcon, which is, of course, the CEO of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. And we spoke to him. The reason we spoke to him, because he shared some very exciting news, which we thought we need to delve in today.
Oh, most
and
definitely.
also, today is the 4th of October, which means on the 7th, the patron for the Tygerberg Hospital Trust, Bishop Tutu, the Arch, is celebrating his birthday, and a couple of days later, the 14th, which is a Thursday, it would be Mahala, and they're the patrons for the trust. So we want to get the whole backstory. We want to go in depth. We want to talk to him. And then he's not alone.
No, he's not alone. He's actually got a guest sitting with him, a very important guest.
Yeah, this is a man with friends, I must say. I'm impressed, so we're looking forward to that.
Places.
And we're going to find out a little bit more from Hardy McQueen as well, from Nectar Media. And we're going to get his story as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So this is one you got to be glued to. This is the one you don't want to miss. So the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, as we know, this is a PBO, a public benefit organization, and an NPO, non-profit organization, with the sole purpose, of course, of looking after little ones. They go to the hospital, the family care, there's education. They do a lot. But you know what? I'm only repeating what I've been hearing from the CEO.
That is so true.
So let's get him. Let's get them. Hardy McQueen is joining us. Jason Falcon is here. Good morning. Welcome to Mahala Monday. Gentlemen, what's up?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, you guys look wonderful in your studio, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Absolutely good to have you on. And thank you so much for your time. Jason, I try to give a sort of summary about the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, and I hope I've done it somewhat of a justice. If you had to summarize it in 10 words or 20 seconds, how would you put it? In case there is a person who's never heard of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust.
Well, firstly, we have to understand the sheer scale of Tygerberg Hospital and the fact that it supports 60% of the children of the Western Cape. Wow. So the sheer volume of kids that are supported by the hospital speaks to the role that the trust needs to fulfill there. And then, of course, secondly, we have to talk about our patrons, man.
Oh, yes.
The Arch and Mahala have been our patrons for more than 20 years. And we can look at no finer example of serving our communities than the two of them.
Yeah. And let's ask you that. Your patron is the Archbishop Tutu, and it's turning 90, and that is Wednesday. That is the 7th.
7th.
Oh, yeah.
Today's the 4th.
Today's the 4th. Thursday.
Sorry,
mere numbers don't work out, but he's turning 90 on he's turning
Thursday.
90, yeah, and a week after Mahala is celebrating a birthday. What does it mean for you at the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust to have them as patrons? I mean, this is huge.
Man, you know, it's been an absolute amazing honor to have them as patrons. They have really shone a light on a path for us and shown us by practical lived example how to help others, how to live in service of our children. And just as that alone is immensely powerful. When I started with the trust in 2019, I went through all the archives and scratched out photos of them over the past and then 18 years of their involvement with Tygerberg Hospital. And you know, those pictures tell the story. It's just amazing to see how their energy comes to life through still images. It's actually quite phenomenal.
I'm just listening. 18 years, Jason. I mean, wow, that is so long. And, you know, there must have been major influences just because, 18 years. What has been that influence? You know, how has influenced you doing your business day to day, just having to run this trust? How has it helped?
Man, it's helped immensely. Like I say, the example that that the Arch is shown, not only the trust in myself, but South Africans in general.
Wow.
I think we shouldn't take that lightly. I think with all the troubles we have in our country, in the world, there are literally beacons of light right here in our own country, right here in Cape Town, shining a path for us. We can't complain that things is always doom and gloom. If they are able to open pathways for us, and we should step up and follow their path.
Yeah, I like how you put it there, and you got to step it up because having the two of them, as you rightly said in the beginning, having the two of them, and then their whole lives have been dedicated to being in the service of others, as you said. Now you got them as parade. I mean, the bar's higher. And this is why the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust does so phenomenal work. Now, in the beginning, you said 60% of children in the Western Cape. Just to clarify that, that's what you said, 60%.
That's correct, 60%.
Wow.
All the rural areas, everything except the West Coast, the Cape Peninsula, Mitchell's Plain, and the Helderberg, George, I think, area, Mossel Bay, George, draws to Tygerberg Hospital. So that's 60% of the Western Cape is supported by Tygerberg Hospital as the primary healthcare facility.
Yeah, and the Children's Trust, of course, plays a big part because especially if somebody and a little one needs to come from the distances that you've mentioned there, it's not a 2-hour visit. It's an overnight at times, and depending how long your admission is. And now you're a 4-year-old, 5-year-old. You're not coming by yourself. There's mom, there's dad, or maybe just the one parent. But this is a huge responsibility that the trust has. Now, I want to delve into that in a second. I wanted to ask you this quickly. The Arch and Mahala, they've sort of retired from public life. I mean, they still do a thing here and there, but at this amazing age, there is still a level of activeness, as active as they can be, right?
So I asked him this question way back in 2019 via email correspondence, because I really was at a crossroad of what to do with their patronage while still respecting their age and their right to retire from public life. And what I pitched to them was that we retain their patronage, but we create a platform of ambassadors, young leaders who can carry on their work. And that was basically the formation of the Tutu Tigers Servant Leadership Ambassador platform, which last year on Youth Day, the Arch and Mahala wrote to me saying that they give our full blessing to start this. Oh, wow. And basically now we're within a year and a bit into our Tutu Tigers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and we remember talking to you
Yes.
about Tutu Tigers.
The last one
that is proper exciting. Proper exciting. And just saying the fact that they give you the complete bit has shown they haven't stopped. And there's going to be absolutely no sign of absolutely stop. They haven't stopped. They still doing what they're doing.
And this for me, so true, because for me it's a legacy. Because automatically that legacy can continue, because now automatically Tutu Tigers can then just continue with what our patriot Desmond Tutu wants to and give out there to the community.
Yeah.
Well done, Jason.
It is. We've got a quick comment on Facebook. I just want to throw this in here, gents. Candice Jansen, thank you very much for sending that. Says it's a huge honor for the Archbishop Tutu, of course, to be patron of the trust. Also says he exemplifies through leadership with the most endearing values and vision for South Africa and the world. And Jason, that alludes to what I was saying. I mean, having people of that caliber involved and being patrons of the trust, I mean, the bar is set super high. I mean, you're not going to get the bar higher than that. That's winner's medal. And when we think of all the things, when we think of the patronage firstly, and one side, the social impact of what the Tygerberg Hospital Children Trust does, I mean, paint the picture there for us, the scale of all of this. When we talk about social impact partners, how important it is.
That's immensely important because, like you've rightly said, Dougal, the sheer scale of work that needs to be done at Tygerberg Hospital for the kids is unfathomable. It really reaches far geographically. It reaches quite deep medically and socially. So how do we do all these things with a small little trust trying to do 30 projects in a year?
Yeah.
It's not possible without friends.
Yeah.
So we've positioned the trust as a social impact partner where others in society can come and partake in the good work that we are doing. Our role then becomes a little bit easier. We just create platforms for various levels and categories of stakeholders to come to us and participate as friends of our kids. And one of those is, of course, our Tutu Tigers platform for those kind of ambassadors. We've also got Goodwill ambassadors. We've got a volunteering group called the Champions for Children, which I think is almost 150 strong now.
Wow.
Many companies and individuals approach us when they hear our stories and say, look, how can we help? What can we do?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by social impact.
Yeah. I get that. And also, that is definitely something I want to explore with you a little bit further. But you mentioned something, you hinted on the fact collaborating. And we know that you shared with us the other day about this international major streetwear brand, Patta. You said you mentioned that with us today. And we also have Hardy with us.
Oh, yeah.
And how did this come about, gents? Hardy, how do you fit in with all of this? Jason, Patta, Hardy, what's happening?
Yeah, so our organization has had a long-standing relationship with Patta. We've been working with them in between Amsterdam and South Africa for the last 10 years. So this is really just a natural sort of progression of that relationship. And over the last year, we've really sort of focused on how, as Nectar Media, we can work with the trust around their social impact endeavors and looking really to create opportunities for collaboration that ignites further partnerships, as well as igniting a new generation of person to know what the trust is about, and as well as to highlight the work of the Arch and Mahala.
Yeah.
So that's what came about.
That's how. And Hardy, just to talk about what, because we want to find out you exactly, what Patta is about. So we know it's a streetwear. This is the one thing, but I just want to tell you this, Rhoda, as well, because with this amazing. And it's an international brand, right?
That's right.
Do you also think what I'm thinking now, that they are involved because of certain people celebrating a 90th birthday,
Most definitely.
to get involved? And I mean, who wouldn't want to be? And we're talking a major streetwear brand. So if we can, Hardy, and I want to ask you this, I want you to think about this as well.
Yeah.
That is that why they're in there? That will be the one question. And with the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, there's the Tutu Tigers, there's the Goodwill ambassadors. There's Jason is talking about the level of partners. So there's a huge array of collaborations, isn't it, Rhoda?
That is so right. But I think also, I think there is a little video clip that I think we were just wanting to show as well, just exactly what it's all about with the birthday and the Patta, and just a little short video that we can just play quickly.
Okay.
Well, we got asked by two of our friends from South Africa, Hardy and Jason, to participate in this honor of the 90th birthday of Desmond Tutu. I think if you can participate in something around Desmond Tutu, who is a human rights activist, a Nobel Prize winner, great figure in the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, all around the world known as a great human being, then the question is very simple. Of course you want to participate.
So there we saw a little bit about what Patta is. So that takes us into it. Hardy, what else is there that you can tell us? Because definitely watching all of that, you can see why they were very excited to join in on that.
Oh, we can't hear him.
We just
Can you hear me?
There we
sorry,
go. There we go.
are,
There we
mate.
go.
Okay. Yeah. So Patta is one of the sort of seminal global streetwear brands. Really, we, as I said, over our relationship of 10 years, they've connected very strongly with South Africa. And I think that, you know, looking for opportunities for them to do things within our market, this natural progression of having a global icon like the Arch, it sort of became a no-brainer for everybody to really to say, look, we've got this guy, it's a 90th birthday, he's still with us. We need to appreciate the fact that the Arch is still here with us.
Yeah.
And then you have this organization as the trust that is really sort of built this bridge for us to be able to create this great collaboration. And then, you know, further just to look at how does one create and build collaborations that are mutually beneficial, but that also deliver on the social impact side.
Yeah. And there's so many questions that jump to mind now, because firstly, the first thing I want to ask, so what exactly is Patta then going to do? Are they making T-shirts? And we talk streetwear. I mean, obviously, it's a whole array of things that they do. What exactly are they going to do?
Yeah. So on Thursday, on the birthday, we'll have 2 T-shirts available, which will be specifically around the 90th birthday. But it's also around initiating an ongoing collaboration with the trust. So this is just the start of a broader and a bigger relationship with the trust through the Tutu Tigers. So Thursday you'll have the 2 T-shirts that'll become available. People can buy it online, as well as we'll be doing a small pop-up event at the Green Market store, Green Market called The Archive, which is part of the TFG group, and really just sort of an opportunity to connect with some members of the public. And then, from there we'll see where it goes with the Tutu Tigers and see what will resonate locally.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to find out, because I know with the last conversation we had, this is a limited edition at this point, am I correct?
Yeah, you're completely correct. There are only 200 of these teas available globally.
Wow.
So it's definitely going to be sold out. If one does the research with what Patta has done previously, whether they do collaborations with Nike or with Asics or with the Jordan brand, their collaborations globally have always sold out. So we know we have a global sellout on our hands. So it's really to ensure that our local members of the public also can get their hands on these, which will surely be a collector's item.
Yeah, I was going to say that now. You've taken the words out of my mouth now. This is definitely a collector's item. And I mean, of the collaborations you just mentioned there, we're talking, I mean, this is world stage, and rightly so. You know, that is exactly what we assume it would be. There are so many questions or comments coming through. And
so many.
Just bear with me in a minute quickly. Let's do this. Hubert is on YouTube saying, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Jason, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. That is what Hubert's got to say. Thank you for saying that. He says, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So collaboration is so important when do not fatigue is prevalent. And that hits it on the nail.
So true.
You know what I mean? Because when you collaborate, you bring your bit, I bring my bit, this one brings his bit. And, and there you go.
That is so true.
It's just, you know, teamwork, dreamwork, you know how it goes. But this is so important. And going back to that video, Hardy, that we saw, you can hear the gentleman in the video say, oh, no brainer, really. We're talking about a global icon here.
Yeah, I think sometimes as South Africans, we underestimate the impact of figures that we have coming out of our country. The Arch is definitely amongst that top tier of person that has emerged onto the global stage from South Africa. And I think we don't thank him enough for the work that he's done locally, and also how he has influenced people's thinking and their behavior globally on a global scale, you know, through his work, and as well as sort of pushing the ideals of Ubuntu. There's a famous story of Doc Rivers in 2008, who was the coach of the Boston Celtics, that when they were on their way to winning an NBA championship, spoke about Ubuntu, and his words were directly quoted from the Arch. So, if we have NBA coaches talking about the Arch, then surely he deserves a collaboration of this scale.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. I just wanted to jump one step back before we continue with this collaboration. Nectar Media. So I heard you mentioning you basically, how did this all come about? How did you go about this? Nectar Media. Who is Nectar Media?
Nectar Media is we're a network of creatives across the African and the global sort of scene, really looking at culture and how we can bring together culture and build communities. And when I talk about culture, I talk about the prevalent things within street culture. So whether it's art, music, fashion, all of those things, and really sort of creating platforms that build culture and that also delivers value to their communities. So that's really what Nectar's about.
Nectar's about, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you guys then approached Patta, or how did this all come about?
Yeah, these things, they come about because of relationships, number one. When we were, so as I was talking about over the last year, we've been working with the trust to sort of look at how we can sort of aid their work strategically and really just build on the social impact of the trust. And then, out of our discussions, it was really, the thinking was, okay, we've got the patron's birthday, but how do we step it up? How do we do something that's globally relevant? And then how do we create a mind shift for people to understand that these kinds of organizations like the Trust are not charitable organizations. These are organizations that work with social impact, and they deliver impact in their communities daily. So it's really about creating that mind shift with, number one, within the Trust, with people working in there, and as well as the people with who they deal with. So that's really around the inspiration around the collaboration.
Oh, beautiful.
You know what?
I love it.
Thank you for putting it so succinctly, because
and
this is the thing, and I like the one part where you said where NBA coaches is quoting the Arch, and the whole world is doing it, and more importantly, yes, we need to acknowledge and as a nation and as a people have more pride and have more ownership about it, and you hit on it, because I also sometimes think like, yeah, we always look there to their right and to other places and go, oh, that's all Meanwhile, we the heartbeat.
Got something to be proud of.
We've got so many comments on Facebook. So let me just jump in there quickly. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sending this through. Jenaline McKay is watching. Jenaline, how's it going? Hope you're well. Says, well done, guys. You are making us very, very proud, and we couldn't agree more.
Almost
I think
definitely.
the world agrees with you. Danelle Gillespie Conradi says, amazing work being done by Patta and the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. Excited to see what will happen with this collaboration. Much love coming from Danelle. Thank you very much for sending that. Generally says, look, it's just amazing to be part of this. And Candace Jansen is adding, the Patta collaboration is exciting news for the Trust to grow and to make friends on a global scale. And having said that, Jason, if we can drag you in here, when we talk global collaborations, how important is that for the Trust? And we know you have partners.
It's immensely important. Essentially, the Trust's basic business model is how can we make as many friends as possible? And that means across all sectors. It means local on our doorstep. It means national. It means continental. It means global. We need so much levels of support that, we can't afford to differentiate who we want to and not want to be friends with. We want to be friends with everybody and provide them a platform through the Trust to deliver the social impact that they wish to deliver for our kids. And the Trust is being the vehicle to facilitate that.
And it is amazing when you think of the scale, because it is just huge in what the trust does. And I'm still, because I know we spoke about it in the beginning, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind about it. When you say 60% of children in a province, you know what I mean? It's still a huge number for me just to take in so many ways. And it is important when we talk about global collaborations, because those numbers then speak truth to the level of collaborations that there is. Now, apart from that, the value, what is the actual value? To put it to the man on the street, what is the actual value that these collaborations would then bring to the trust in return?
So I think the very easiest way to talk about that is about financial benefit. But I'm loath to talk about that because that doesn't speak to the full value that we create through collaborations.
Yeah.
So on the shallow end of the pond, we can say, let's say we make 90,000 Rand through a simple collaboration around a T-shirt. That's nowhere near the amount of financial resources that the trust needs.
Yeah, exactly.
We need lots and lots of money to be able to deliver on our ambitions. So how do we build beyond that? So how do we use a wonderful global collaboration like the Tutu Tigers with Patta to create more friends and do more things on a global scale? And out of that, naturally, we will, just by sheer virtue of the quality, depth, and reach of our friendships, be able to do more and more things that build more and more value. So essentially, that is the game we are playing for the benefit of our kids.
Yeah. And also, we must remember that it is also vice versa. You know, it is also the huge benefit for people who are involved with the trust and the amazing work that the trust does, and anybody want to be associated with the trust because of the trust's reputation as such, and it's just the amazing work that happens there. Arnie, when you hear all of that coming from Jason, I mean, you know. That must be exciting, and the Patta people must be like telling you really exciting stuff in your ear as well.
Oh no, definitely. You know, it's beyond the actual collaboration. We have members of the team, the co-founder of Patta landing here tonight to support the actual collaboration. So there's a high level of expectation and a high level of excitement to further explore what collaboration means with the trust. And these kinds of things that ignite other conversations and the potential for other collaborations from parts unknown at this stage. But really it's about, as I said, it's about that mind shift for people to look at how do we build more collectively and create shared value.
Yeah. Could I ask, I mean, just looking at South Africa businesses now, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of businesses out there looking at this. And how South Africa business is structured for this kind of social model? You know, how is there any way how are South African businesses structured? Any one of the two of you?
Yeah, I can say poorly structured. South African businesses generally are very traditional in their approach, very, I suppose, militaristic in the way they deploy strategy, which is why we sit with few big companies and very small, successful small companies, and very few successful South African brands. Yeah. We tend to import brands and then resell those brands on our local markets. And that has a knock-on effect with our consumers who only expect good brands to come from overseas. So we are caught in this vicious cycle locally of not believing in our own possibilities of a better future, a different future, where we are creative, we are innovative, we are doing things that others globally are not yet doing. So that is the realm that the trust wants to play in terms of social innovation and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the trust is very active in that as well. And, you know, from what we understand and from what we've witnessed and seen. And as Rhoda said to you, and you've touched on now, Jason, so are we a little bit, let's say in 1980, for the lack of a better term, And especially when we don't realize, like for businesses in South Africa, their real position and their rightful position on the global stage. Because now we also have, on the one hand, we've got the world icons, really, living legends, Mahala, the Arch, celebrating 90. You've got this collaboration going with Patta, the immense work that the Trust is doing. Are we, and I know you touched on it, but are we ignorant? What would be the reason that businesses and society in general miss the point sometimes, not really know? So we there.
Well, for me, it's linked to our history. It's linked to generation, how we've been raised and taught to do business and taught to act as consumers, which becomes broadly the South African ingrained organizational culture and consumer culture. So how do we break that? It's very difficult to do that with a new brand, because customers don't want to buy a new brand. You have to spend a lot of time and effort building your brand. Yeah. So a good litmus test for this, and I think all of us have experience in this if we take note of it, is that it's very difficult to get an audience to communicate with local businesses directly to decision makers.
Yeah.
Whereas, by example, Patta was a 2-minute phone call and an immediate yes. And by the next day, Vincent van der Wal was designing the Arch's mural. So as simple as that for someone that I've never met before, just based on shared vision around something amazing, and then saying yes and actually doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And I want to ask you this. It's a bit of a naughty question. You approach them. You say, look, we want to do this with you. It's the Arch's birthday. But because you mentioned his name, that's an easy sell, isn't it? I know it's a naughty question. You don't even have to answer. You can just wink.
There's a wink.
No, it is. And it's a lifetime. It's a lifetime of effort, a lifetime of dedication. And let me just say, what an example. There's a part of me, Jason and Hardy, that I admire. I don't want to say envious, because it's not the best word for the situation, but there is a little bit of that. But I admire you by association and having this example, you know, and I think that is the important thing, and that speaks to all of it. So I want to find out exactly. So there's this big collaboration happening, because we're getting to the end of it. There's this big collaboration going. Thursday Thursday is this pop-up store is happening in the middle of Cape Town.
Yeah, the pop-up store is happening at the Archive, which is positioned on Green Market Square. And then you'll also be able to purchase the T-shirt online.
And Hardy, let me ask you that as well, because where do you go online in order to get it?
You can go directly to the Trust's website.
Okay. So you go to the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust and you purchase it. And it is just a once-off purchase, or is it going to be a bit of a bidding war? That is what you do, because the details are on the screen right now.
Look, for this one, it's going to be on a first-come, first-served basis. But trust that these are collectors, so later on they will increase in value.
Oh, yeah.
And we do have a couple of sort of Easter eggs hidden with some that are personally signed.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's a couple of surprises in store for the consumer as well.
Oh, my goodness. Because this is now my next question, and I'm sitting like this, so you can see exactly this. I want to ask.
Oh, we don't have your size, Tutu. We don't have your size.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
The question I want to ask you, because this is the kind of thing I want to buy, but I'm not going to wear it. I'm going to frame this. This is the question I want to ask. Am I going to frame this? I'm framing this, right?
No, because there are two colorways, it's something that you have to purchase and frame.
Oh, most definitely.
Because the value will increase.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I want to do is,
because I was gonna say, Naz, either go sleep at Green Market, where was that one? The green mark?
Yeah, the archive.
The archive.
Yeah.
I'd have to go sleep there waiting for that time. Time-wise, what times are we looking at? Especially online.
Lockdown, you can't go sleep there.
Oh, my word, lockdown.
You need to be up early, baby.
I have to be there at 4 o'clock.
Do it online, Rhoda.
Oh, okay. And online, what time will it be available online?
It will be available from 9 a.m. on the morning of the 7th.
The morning.
9 a.m. Yeah. Because Rhoda, we got to check it out. All right. So that is where it is. You can shop the collection. You check it out there. The details are on the screen. Screenshot this right now. I'll even do this, make a screenshot easier for you. But it is there, all the details you got to do. You got to check it out. That is absolutely brilliant.
100% of the sales goes to the hospital, Tiger. Just look there, guys.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And Jason, because that was going to be the closing bit that we wanted to bring across. All of this only benefit the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. But when we say benefit the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, we're talking about the communities, the children, the patients, the little patients. This is ultimately the beneficiaries, right?
100%, Dougal. So, this is, as collaborations work, you have to come up with some kind of a big bang that gets it started. So this is really just a big bang for what happens next. Personally, it's a big dream of myself to create some kind of a funnel for the kids in the hospital to not only deal with their healthcare, but also their education, and how the young designers later on in their life collaborate with the designers of Patta.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids are into design nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
How do we create a funnel for our kids from the hospital to walk a path to one less sit in Amsterdam, in Patta's office, working with their designers and picking up knowledge and skills there? How do we make that happen? That's the beauty of collaborations of this kind.
Wow.
You know what, and you sum it up so succinctly, because, and I think people should really take note of just what you said there, because that is ultimately what it is about. It just shows where 2 heads are better than 1, 10 heads are better than 5, and all of that. Because once you collaborate, the horizon becomes, that's not a word that doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist.
The limitations, there are no limitations. Nothing. There is no limitations. And this is the important bit. I mean, just hearing what you said there means because that is what collaboration is allowed you to do. And I don't want to go on about that, but it also speaks to your reputation of the Tygerberg Hospital Trust, having the person that you have as the patron. But my final question I want to ask, so the birthday is on the 7th, 2-3 sleeps away. What exactly is happening for the birthday? Is there any way that people, apart from the shirt, any way else that people could get involved? Anything from the trust side?
Well, unfortunately, not really. Still in a difficult time for events, and we are hosting Edson Sabajo and his family here for this week. So, and we also have the launch of the T-shirt. So really for the public, there's just the sale of the T-shirt online and the archive pop-up store. But while Edson is here, we're also doing a few other things, connecting him with the broader clothing industry infrastructure. And on the 12th, Edson and myself are also hosting a talk on design through the lens of social impact. But that is all a little bit hush-hush right now, the location and who's going to be there. But follow the website, more to be released soon.
Follow the website.
Just go to the website. I'm going to follow the website with 2 things now. There's this whole Thursday morning thing. 9 o'clock. I'm going to be there. Hardy McQueen, any final thoughts from you, sir?
Just thank you very much. And yeah, let's keep this conversation going. And let's get online, guys, and let's start buying this tea to start supporting the trust.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hardy. Thank you so much, Jason. What a privilege it is to talk to you. We're going to come back shortly. Yes, Rhoda?
Yeah. What, Dougal?
Oh, no, I thought you were going to say something, because I know we're going to play something.
I was listening to you now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got to watch this.
I'm stuck with the T-shirts. I'm trying to figure out my time.
Listen, 9 o'clock. This is 9 o'clock. It's like Mahala time, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, yeah. Watch this again, and then 9 o'clock. See?
I'm Dr. Mukosi. I'm the CEO of Tygerberg Hospital. I would like to wish the Archbishop Emeritus Tutu and Mahala Tutu a happy, blessed birthday. On your 90th birthday, Archbishop, we really appreciate the work that you've done here in the hospital, having been a patron for the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust for so many years. You have been partnering with us in meeting the needs of our children. We treat so many children here at the hospital. Many people are not aware of that. Tygerberg Hospital actually has got so many beds that are just purely dedicated to children. That's why we've got the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, who are also partnering with us, making sure that they link us to the communities. But I just want to say happy birthday and a blessed birthday to you, the Archbishop Emeritus and Mahala Tutu. May the Lord bless you and bless you even with many more years to come.
It certainly
Beautiful.
is. It certainly is. Happy moments. I
Beautiful.
tell you what, a wonderful message there from Dr. Mukosi, which is just brilliant. Quickly, I want to mention this. It is all about the children. They are the future, and that is generally McQueen saying that. You are so right.
What a beautiful way.
Gentlemen,
to end this.
all we can say, Hardy McQueen, Jason Falcon, thank you so much for coming on to Mahala Monday. Thank you for sharing all these amazing insights, and we wish you absolutely the best. And I hold and I stand by what I said. I think, and I can speak for Rhoda as well, we are in awe. We are in awe. Keep up the amazing work. Keep doing what you're doing. And just thank you. Thank you. That's all we can say. Thanks for coming on, gents.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
And there it is. I tell you what, Rhoda,
Wow.
it is. And we gotta just look at this. In summary, we gotta say the impact of the Arch throughout his life. And let's not forget the backdrop of all of this, apart from the amazing work that he's done in his life and the trust have done over so many years. It's also a birthday, a proper birthday. And then a couple of days later, your wife says a birthday. This is like a happy week, man.
That's happy week.
So ultimately, this is what it is. And we got to get involved, and we got to do that as well. I mean, they've dedicated what an example. What an
and
example.
you know, what excites me as a South African is the fact that this is our icon that's being exposed around the world. It's our person. It's our Tutu.
Exactly. Listen, if
ours.
you just think about it, if we had to do a show just on the Arch, if we start right now, when are we leaving?
Oh, no.
I'll be turning 90. Come on.
So true.
You know what I mean? And let's be honest, for me, that's like 700 years away.
And you know, it comes down to exactly that. It's for the children.
It is. That's what it's all
for the children, guys. Come on.
That's what it's all about. What you got to do is go visit the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. Of course, you know what? They do amazing work. You've heard it there from the CEO, Jason Falcon himself. 60% of the Western Cape's children get supported by that. And of course, the work is vast. It is huge. It is immense. And only the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust can collaborate and not can, but you know, they will collaborate with global shape trendsetters like Patta, which is an amazing streetwear, of course, and they're doing this wonderful thing. So you got to go to the website, go check it out, and definitely support them. That is what it's all about. Once again, thank you for all the amazing questions and comments that came through. Thank you to our guests, Jason and Hardy, for joining us on Mahala Monday. Rhoda was here. We're gonna have to celebrate the Archer's birthday as well because we got to eat cake, man. I've got to eat cake.
And it's so exciting because it's our Mahala the Monday birthday as well. What a
my
big
birthday is
celebration.
2 weeks later, man.
Ooh, what a big month.
October is birthday burr. There we go. New word. Use it. Abuse it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.